Coming up on today's episode. Welcome back once again, YouTube, to DERB. I am your host again, Doug. And this video is kind of a continuation of the last one. One of the reasons, the biggest reason, I guess, I wanted to get that floor straightened away and cleaned off was the item that you see sitting there in the middle of the floor now. That step stool I bought for one purpose, and really one purpose only, but, you know, I'll probably use it for other stuff too. The purpose is, and I'll show you just in a second, and I think now you can see the purpose of that step stool. I do have I can just see now from looking at it, it is crooked. The globe is crooked, so I'm going to have to fix that. But anyway, regardless, I've got to, that's all completely done except for the globe being crooked. But I got it up there. It took me 2 days to get it up there. I didn't take any video of it, but that was the primary purpose for getting that done. That you guys that's been around a while know that's been here. I bought that probably a year ago, I think. Maybe not quite that long, but very close to it, if not. So I wanted it up there for quite some time to circulate the air, because even though it stays fairly cool in there, especially when the AC is working and, you know, pumping air through the vents, but there are the times between that the actually AC runs, gets a little warm in there because of those lights, and I thought, well, just having a fan up there would help a lot, I think, and I think it will. But again, like I said, I've got to get up there and straighten up that globe. It's just crooked. Let me get that done real quick, and I'll come right back. Alright, now you can see it is straight. I do have it up there good and straight now, and it's still working. I guess that's an accomplishment in itself. But like I said, it took me a little while to do this. I got a little bit dizzy yesterday up there, but I basically stopped what I was doing and didn't do anything the rest of the day. And then today I continued. Of course, the hardest part is getting those fan blades attached. Of course, each one, in addition to the little metal thing that holds the blades to the fan itself, those I did before I even, you know, got up there. I got those screws in, and then I just had to screw the 2 screws for each blade into the motor itself. That wasn't too difficult. I had used the power screwdriver, and it went up pretty easily. Now the chain on the left, I believe, is the light. Chain on the right controls the speed of the fan. I think that's on a middle position, if I'm not mistaken. So, like I said, that's about what I like, something like that. And it's sucking up. That's always the way I've heard it to be. And when you have your air conditioner running, you want your, of course the heat rises, and you want your fan to be pulling the air from the lower air from down below, the cooler air, up to the top, to, you know, and it goes around and around, obviously. And have a more even cooling that way, so I think, anyway. But happy with that, very happy. And I had to ask my son-in-law to help, Randy, but I just sent a picture to my daughter, told her that I did get it, so he didn't have to mess with it. He's got things to do. I don't want to bother him if I don't have to. And I just seen another thing I don't have done. There's 2 screws that hold that plate up against the ceiling, that cover plate, and I only have 2 in there. There's 4 in there altogether, and I'll need to put those in. But the 2 that's up there hold it securely, so not going to worry too much about that. But the next time I get back up there, I'll put those in. Obviously it'll have to be when the fan's not running. Now both the fans in the apartment here are they have a switch for the light and a switch for the fan on the wall. So this one only has one switch, so I just obviously when the fan goes off, I'll show you, everything goes off, the light and the fan will stop. So like I said, that's kind of way I'd rather have it anyway, because you know, when I get done working in the shop or of an evening, there's no sense in leaving it run for nothing. You know, and I can turn the light and the fan on independently with the chain, but it's just much easier at the doorway there. And that also provides me with a way, if I'm in here of an evening and it's getting dark, once I turn the bench lights off, then I'm a little bit uneasy about walking without any light to the doorway, even though there may be some light coming through from the living room or whatever. I just this way this will be on, and you know, I'll have light. So that way I just turn the switch off at the doorway and I'm done. So that's really good. So you can see it is stopping, and we'll turn it back on and it starts back up again. So like I said, that's exactly how I wanted it wired, and that's going to be a nice addition, I believe, to my workshop, and one that's been a long time coming. So I'm very happy about that. And that was the main reason I wanted to get that floor cleaned off, because you know, I didn't feel safe trying to get up and down off that step stool with a bunch of clutter around it. And because I don't know how any of you older people are, but I'm very unsure on my feet these days, and I tend to worry about where I step and stuff like that. So alright, that's going to do this part of it. I'm going to add something else. I'm not really sure yet what, but I may go ahead and take that Sony Bluetooth speaker apart, and we'll see what's inside of that. So stay tuned for that. I'm back with you once again, YouTube, and we are at the bench, as you can see, I think. This is the Sony, and I don't know the number, but I will post that up on the screen so you can see. And this is the, I got to take this grill back off. I put it back on just to show it, but I had this grill off already. Now, for those who don't know, what we're trying to do is fix this situation here. There is a obviously micro USB, or used to be. It kind of looks like it's deteriorated just a small bit, and that no longer works to charge the unit, and that's what that's for. Now my idea is to use this, difficult to see, but there's the input, and that will go in there, and then this cable here will be used, USB on one end, and this whatever size that is fits in that hole, and that's how it's going to be used to be charged. This will plug into any kind of phone charger, or any little charger that plugs into the line, or it can be used outside, you know, in a car or something that has a USB, or computer even, you know. I mean, whatever powers a USB would work for that. So again, like I said, that is our goal right there, to get that changed out and get it to where it will charge, because obviously we'll not charge with it. That poor little wrecked micro USB was not used to the power of Randy. So that's the best way I can tell you there. Again, I'm going to take this grill off, and we'll go from there. I've watched the video a couple of times now on how best to take this apart, and it is complicated. I don't know that I will be successful in this at all. I'm giving it a shot because Randy said it's not any use to him as it is. It can't be charged, so I agree with that. And so let me get to it, and we'll see what we can come up with. Okay, I brought you back once again to show you that the clamshell, or whatever you want to call it, is off. Now this basically is just held on by tape. As you can see, this really sticky tape. here, and I think I'm going to peel all that off because I don't really think it's all that necessary. It does snap in. It just I think that was just an additional, maybe even a sound deadening or something like that. But again, that comes apart, and so that's good. Got that off. I did take the screws out of the front of this. That plastic grill, there's 4 screws there. I took those out, and so I'm sure that's got to kind of come off too. Right at the moment, I don't know how to get it off, but I'm working on it. There's our prize, by the way, is right there. We're getting a little closer. I don't know how well that we're going to get there. Like I said, this is really, whoever designed this, kudos. I mean, you know, it is something else. I think the speakers have to come out, I'm pretty sure. At least the end ones. The way I looked at it. Now, this is a little different than the one I watched, even though it's the same model number. I think they had several of these different ones, even with the same model number. So, like I said, I'm going to work on it and get it out as best I can, and we'll come back and show you more when we have more to show. Alright, I am at another key junction, I do believe. I've got that, basically the faceplate off the speakers, and that basically takes all these come out. These will, I don't they unplug. Oh yeah, I see the plug down there now. And those unplug, and I think I probably will unplug those. Now they also unplug up here at the speaker, which may be the easier one to get to. So I may do that. So I think get those out of the way, because I, will constantly be wanting to poke them with a screwdriver. You know how that works. So let me get those out of the way, and I see that front plate, face plate or whatever, unplugs right there. That's a subwoofer, I guess, is what that would be. Be careful to get that off. There we go. That is out. So that will be set aside, as with a lot of this. And again, I think I'm going to go ahead and disconnect these speakers and get those set off to the side. Also, I've looked at this piece here. I think I'm going to try to put that sticky tape back in that side, and maybe that will let me reuse it again. I mean, it won't hurt anything. As you can see, I think in the, a little closer there, a lot of stuff has come in through the vent there, and sand, gravel, whatever. So he uses this in a harsh environment, mostly in his garage, I believe. So that's going to happen. So, all right, let me turn this off, get the speakers out, and we'll see what else we can get into. So stand by. All right, well, you can see I do have the prize out now. I have the piece out with the connector. Patience and vigilance, I guess, is how you do this. Basically, everything comes apart, basically. When I say that, I'm being tongue-in-cheek, I guess. But this, let me show you this. I couldn't get this out, which connects to there. I tried to pry it out, but that does not. That's a ribbon cable, and it doesn't come out that way, I guess. So I just left it in and went ahead and started poking around with this, and finally got this out. Now this, again, it looks, the shield connects here, I think. Looks like this may be the back of the shield here, and maybe here. And then these two here, I thought maybe were the connections of the power, but it says R310, so maybe that one and one of these, I don't know. I'm just going to have to take it apart basically and see where the pins connect for the power, and then go from there. But that pin, those pins are out of that socket completely, out of that micro USB. There's nothing in there, that's why I couldn't connect to it. They're broke off, so that's how that's got to work. So I think what we're going to do is do a two-parter on this. and I'm going to try. They're right now looking at it. There's the inside of it. Let me show you that. As you can see, there's not much space there. There's a big lip here that holds that board in, and I don't know that I can even get that new jack in there. Obviously, there's a place here, but that's the speaker, or not external, or input for the auxiliary input. If you want to run this off auxiliary, he probably never will use that, but at the same time, I don't really want to rip that out unless I have to. So, again, there's that right there. Again, I could put it in there and run the wires over to the other port. And, you know, actually, I could just, without even doing it, I could just run them to that. But I can't. That's too much micro stuff for me. I'm going to have to take those out for sure. And the problem, again, like I say, is this other piece here. And I know it's hard to see. In fact, that looks like it might be a rubberized type thing. If it is, I might be able to get that out. See, that's just a rubber. There you go. That might help a little bit because it does give me some access there. And I could cut that a little bit. That wouldn't hurt anything. I might be able to do that between this piece and that piece and maybe get that jack in there. I don't know. That's also another thing it's going to depend on is how deep that is, and it doesn't look to be that shallow, so it may have to go in there a little further. So that's going to be, again, part 2 of this whole thing. Let me get that out of the way. We can get a little better look at it and see. Now there's nothing there except for a little tab. I'm looking at this space here because there's nothing there at all. As you can see on that, that would correspond to that above that L piece there. That's just that little tab there. So if I had to take that out, that wouldn't be the end of the world. So again, that leaves me quite a bit of space right here for this. I think I can get the jack in, but again, how deep does it go in there, and before it gets to this circuit board? So that would be the problem, because the circuit board fits flat, obviously, against the these are the yeah, these are where you press. Actually, they go like this. Get it right here in a minute. Goes like that. So there you go. That's what it looks like. Now see, behind there's quite a bit of space, if you can see that. So again, maybe that will work. But I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna relegate that to a part 2 because this is just too tedious to do at one time and get it all done and be successful. I like to take my time and do stuff like this. Think about it a little bit, and because if you think about things, I think they tend to work out a little bit better. Now, I mentioned this ribbon cable. These are not impossible to get out, but at the same time, I know you're not even seeing it. Let me get you up a little bit. But at the same time, they're not the easiest things in the world to get out. So some of these will lift up like this, and then the whole thing pops out, but I don't see that happening with this one. It doesn't appear to be that way. And that has to be in there. In other words, that's an integral part of the assembly. And I see no way of dealing with it without it. Now, if it would just pull out, that might be another option. But as you can see, I think, it doesn't seem to... Oh, I felt something. Oh, it's coming out. I've got this on video, so I want to make sure I can get this back in the same way if I do get it out. That would make, I believe, getting this all worked on a lot easier if I could get that out. Again, this is not keeps saying that, but I don't really want to mess it up. Taking my time. There you go. It did pop out. Now, whether that pops back in. This is a stiff part. I don't know how we can tell that, but this is a very stiff part. It will take some pushing on to get it back in there. So I think that is going to help us a lot to get that in. And my thinking on this is, again, basically make a hole in the plastic to where this will be accessible. In other words, attach the port to this and then just push it up against that, and then that should hold it in there, I think. Of course, it'll be soldered to the board, but I mean, other than that, I think that'll work. So there you go. There's your little prize. All that work for that. So that's going to be a wrap on this. Now, let's see if this, I think this just plugs into this. You can see there what I'm talking about. Maybe it plugs in this way. Yep, it does. Okay, that plugs in there. Alright, not a problem. That's a 6-pin connector. Boy, oh boy. That's something else. This stuff is micro. You know how it is. And like I said, every little piece you can get out of the way is actually a good thing. So I'm hoping. Now I see back here. I know I'm said I was going to make a part 2, but I want to see as much as I can on this one. There's a row of pins here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 5 pins there. Now I don't know that is part of the, and I think it is. You know, the more I'm looking at this, maybe it would be easier just to replace that socket. It would be a lot less hassle, I think, if I did that. But then I'm left with the same thing of Randy plugging in, plugging out. I don't know how long this lasted. I'm going to say about a year. So I'm just guessing. He got it, I believe, for Christmas, but I'm not really sure if it was last Christmas or this past Christmas. But whatever. Well, one thing is, I'll take this out. Once I get it out, then we can look it over a little bit better. And again, that's going to be part 2, the soldering part. So the port itself here has really been wore out. You can just see it's bent down there on the front, and without some light, it's impossible to see in there. So again, I don't know what's in there. So I could just see you have your connections on the side here. There's the ground on the front. There's the one on the back. Those are going to be the first ones to take out, and so we can basically lift up on the jack a little bit and maybe see what else is in there. I don't see anything. I was thinking these two here and this one, but no, I don't think that's it. I think it does connect in the back. So we're gonna have to get those off first and then go from there. So I join me when we return to this little bit of microsurgery. And we'll see if we can't get this working for him. I mean, I'd like to. I want to go ahead and, before I wrap up this session, not on video, but I'm going to put this. I'm going to put this tape back here. This piece here go back there, and there's some over there. I want to try to get it back in like it's supposed to be, and then I'll call it a day as far as doing this. So. Alright, like I said, you guys have a great day. Thank you so very much for watching, and we do appreciate that very much. And you have a wonderful day. We will see ya. A little bird flying by.